Jackie Chan, that was pretty intimidating.
Hmm.
And just because of who he is and what he represents, the ultimate, and it was one of my earlier movies. So I got to fight him on the boat in the Medallion. And Sammo Hung was the action director. And it
Oh,
was a pretty
wow.
stressful moment. I had to back kick him in the chest, and I did it too lightly. And Sammo was like, "Hit him harder!" And then one of the Jackie Chan stunt team comes up to me and he's like, "Be very careful."
Well, Scott, thank you for joining me. Welcome. So, first of all, I want to congratulate you on the movie Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday. I think it's one of those rare sequels that surpassed the original. I watched it and I thought, wow, this exceeded my expectations. Before I get to that, though, I had some questions about your career I quickly wanted to go over. Here at JoBlo, we have movie retrospectives on our YouTube channel. And one of the shows we do is called Real Action. And our latest episode is on the 1980s movie Revenge of the Ninja, starring Kosugi and his son Kane when he was a child. And you worked with Kane in Ninja 2. And I was wondering, what was it like to work with someone that has that kind of lineage and has been in the game since before puberty?
Yeah, look, he's one of the finest martial artists I've ever had the pleasure of fighting on screen. I mean, if I had to pick my top three fights, that would be one of them. It was an absolute pleasure. When you work with someone that's got that much skill, and we're making a ninja film as well, so it's kind of like, let if we get Kane Kosugi, that would be amazing because of his dad.
Right.
And when you work with someone of that skill, you get through the day much quicker. It's easier. It's always hard, but when you work with someone with that much skill, you're getting it down in 2 or 3 takes because you're working with the best of the best.
Yeah, that was an awesome finale sequence for that movie. And it's interesting because, I think everyone's first real exposure to you was Undisputed 2. But, when you look up what you did before that, you fought all the greats already, like Jackie, Jet. I mean, eventually you fought Donnie and Tony and, Michael Jai White a few times, Van Damme. So, I mean, that's an impressive list. Which one was the most intimidating to work with?
Jackie Chan, that was pretty intimidating.
Hmm.
And just because of who he is and what he represents, the ultimate, and it was one of my earlier movies. So I got to fight him on the boat in the Medallion, and Sammo Hung was the action director. And it
Oh,
was a pretty
wow.
stressful moment. I had to back kick him in the chest, and I did it too lightly. And Sammo was like, "Hit him harder!" And then one of the Jackie Chan stunt team comes up to me and he's like, "Be very careful." I was like, "Oh, I don't want to upset Sammo and I don't want to upset him. What are we going to do?" But take two, I delivered and got the job done. That was one of the finest moments of my life when I had the chance to go up against Jackie Chan, only a little bit, but one-on-one, and give a good account of myself. I remember that being just an amazing day. And then another day that was equally as amazing to me was when I was 10 years later invited by Jackie to the Jackie Chan Action Awards in Shanghai and awarded the award of Best Fight Sequence and Best Actor at the Jackie Chan Action Awards. So that was amazing.
Wow. So let me get to Accident Man right now. I just watched the movie. Just now I was cramming for this. No, I'm joking. But I really, like I said, I think it surpasses the original. And this is actually one of those movies that took me a while to watch because I just had to rewind and watch scenes 3 or 4 or 5 times. And not even just the action, but the humor was so funny. And the
Great.
first one had, it was a comedy as well. It had sort of a dark humor to it. But this one, I felt like you guys spread your wings a little bit more. Were you guys more confident going into this one with your creativity?
I think what it was with the first one, I knew what I wanted to do, but I'm not the director. And I just worked with Jesse Johnson, who's a brilliant director, and we've made some great films together that I'm very proud of. But it was a bit of a strange situation where I was like, "Jesse, I want you to do this for me. I want you to direct it in a certain way for me because I want to make this tone of movie," which didn't necessarily come naturally to him. So we sort of like landed at something somewhere in between, I think. Nobody's fault, but I think the new directors, they completely got the tone of what I was going for. But something that didn't help with the first one as well was we had the storyline of the girlfriend and the revenge mission, which, you know, to give that some legitimacy, I had to take it to some dark places. But these guys, they completely got the tone right. And also, with the script, we amped up the comedy as well beforehand. We took what worked on the first one and we amplified it for the second one. And I'm glad you've responded to that, and it's worked.
Oh, definitely. I mean, as much as I like the first one, I think this one, yeah, I felt more of I guess a united tone. Like it was just, I felt more confident, like it knew what it wanted to be. So being on sets of movies like both the Accident Mans and the Expendables, and you're surrounded by action stars, how competitive does it get? Are there side bets going on? Is there a lot of egos in play?
Luckily for us, all those action stars, Stallone is such a powerhouse that everyone just kind of falls into place and does as the ringleader says, except for maybe Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis, who were like equal on the totem pole. But for everyone else, it's like, oh, let's just do as Stallone says because he's the man. So, and that's pretty much the way it worked. I mean, I remember being with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it was my fourth film that I'd been in with Van Damme. And he was more nervous than me.
Really?
Yeah.
To fight with Stallone?
Well, just, you know, that day on set where everyone was there, that's the impression that I got from Jean-Claude. Because it was a big opportunity for him as well, you know, the big coming back into the big movie process that it was for, you know, everyone else, like Chuck Norris and Dolph Lundgren, you know. It was a big moment for everyone, and the fact that there were all these huge stars in the same movie together, that was not lost on anyone.
Like I said, I definitely could see the influences with this movie, and obviously you and the directors are big fans. Like there is a great fight in the kitchen that happens, and there's a lot of prop and like keep away fights. That's obviously influenced by like old Jackie Chan movies. Were there any specific movies you guys watched for like inspiration or influence?
Not really. We understood. We liked the same sort of stuff. The directors, they went out to Malta. They did some location scouts. So, and we knew that we were using that kitchen. And so then they came back to London, and I finished a movie. And they laid out the boxes, like they measured the rooms, and then we arranged the boxes, and we start to choreograph all the action in London and previs, so that we have all the angles figured out. You know, we'll choreograph it, then we'll shoot the angles. Maybe we don't like an angle and we can change it, and we can do all that in the gym at a fraction of the cost of being on the set. And then when we get there and the money is rolling out and we're on the set, we know exactly what shots we need, and it's all been edited and predetermined, and we go ahead and we execute the plan. I don't know what's that on the left.
Right here, this one. This one
got Bruce and Stallone.
Oh, this one's Rocky IV.
I know that.
Your left or my left?
You're right then.
Oh, sorry. This one is actually I'm also a graphic designer. And I made a poster for the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and someone online found it who does digital paintings, and they did a digital painting of it, and I just happened upon it, and I'm like, hey, I actually created that. And then he sent me one for free. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna have to put it up now. So
yeah, that's cool, man.
I think I have to ask, because I think I picked up on a reference. Were you referencing Richard Norton with the whole painful sort of bit? Oh my gosh, because I was like, these guys, painful. All you had to do was say that word. I was like, wait a minute, I see what you're doing.
I'm glad to see you're a true fan of Hong Kong cinema then, if you're picking that up.
Oh, I felt like, I was just like, I can't believe they actually did that. Like, no one will get this.
Well, we did it in the first one, even more so. Painful. I fight Tin Man, the triad biker, and I'm testing out because he's an easy target to fight with. I'm testing out some stuff to find out what really hurts, and I keep asking him painful, and yeah, and then we brought it over into this one.
You probably have heard this already, and you probably will hear it a lot, but the Su Ling character is probably her working relationship with Fallon is probably one of the greatest that I've seen in movies. And every time they encounter each other, I think I'm not going to give it away, but I mean, like, just any time that they encounter each other, I was laughing my ass off. And
oh man, that's brilliant. It works,
yeah,
doesn't it? She's so great in the film.
She is.
It was a really tough part to cast. We were searching and searching, and I wasn't like sure about Sarah at first, because she's very different to the Su Ling that we have in person when you meet her and you look at the past stuff she's played. And when she completely inhabited that character and created a character quite different from herself, and it really works. And yeah, she's stealing scenes, but I'm so happy because it was a very pivotal character. If that didn't work, it would have really affected the movie.
Absolutely. Did she go method on that, where she probably didn't get out of character?
She was starting to walk like she gave Su Ling a different walk, and she was, becoming more. She was kind of in everyone's face on the set all the time. Yeah, she changed. She became really grumpy and a bit of a miserable bleeder. But she's a lovely girl and did a great job.
Now her family won't talk to her. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I loved it so much. Because I was so impressed by her, I wanted you to tell her I think she's going to be the next Michelle Yeoh. That's how impressed I was by her.
I've already said exactly the same thing to her.
Did you?
But I will repeat it from you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're probably watching this anyway. Did you get that, Sarah?
Hello, Sarah. Awesome job. And speaking of Michelle Yeoh, one of the biggest stories of the year is the film Everything Everywhere All at Once. Did you get a chance to watch that?
I did. What a crazy madcap movie that was. Insanity. Very entertaining though.
Yeah. And
she really is everywhere all at once.
She really is.
She's in everything at the moment.
She's in Star Trek, Star Wars, like all these Marvel movies.
The only place she hasn't been is The Art of Action. So come on.
Oh, I think the amazing thing about, it is the studio's A24's like highest grossing movie to date, and it's not a conventional martial arts movie. Do you think it's like, and also just being such a champion for martial arts movies and knowing that they were once so special and then they can be so special again? Do you think like that's a good step in bringing martial arts to an audience that otherwise probably wouldn't watch it?
Well, I hope so. Yeah. I mean, the martial arts has kind of been relegated to the comic book movies mostly. I think that's where people get their action quota for the past decade, it seems. I mean, we've got John Wick, and we're getting some good action films coming through now, actually, with David Leitch and JJ Perry stepping up. But yeah, I think it might be coming back. Action might be coming back, and that's what I wanted to do with Accident Man was, bring back the hardcore Hong Kong martial arts feel in the fights, with real performers doing their own fighting and their own stunts. And it definitely has that vibe. And if it comes back, well, I'll be happy about that, of course, because I'm going to be getting a job.
Well, you're already in John Wick 4, which is huge. Are there any scoops you can share that maybe nobody else will have?
I'd love to give you a scoop, mate, but I can't.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was such an honor, and hopefully I'll talk to you again for John Wick, and have a lot of things to ask you about Keanu and the like. So I wish we had more time. I just want to pick your brain about so many things. Yeah.
I would love to do it again, EJ. Emma, Prodigy, just remember that I would love to talk to EJ when John Wick comes out.
All right then. Well, good to talk to you. Have a good day, man.
Okay, you too, buddy. Thanks a lot.
All right, bye.